planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
Where do you get off?
Just a couple of people who totally got off, bro.
Hey, show us your basement.
What? No.
And welcome to another spooky episode of Show Us Your Basement. I'm one of your hosts here, Edgar, and I got my brother here, Alberto, and my other two compadres, Eric and Josh. How you guys doing?
Great.
Great. What the hell was that? I don't know what that was. Before we start,
What up, gentlemen?
oh,
Go ahead.
before we start with our episode today, follow us in our socials, which is I'm Still Learning. Tell me, Art.
Come on, Aaron, show us your basement.
Oh, show us your
It's
basement.
simple as that, baby. We're not confusing anybody no more with two bros.
Okay, so we're on what?
Everywhere you can think of, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Instagram. We're not on Facebook. I'm sorry.
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
Okay.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. So go ahead and just follow us.
Follow us and subscribe. Let us know how we doing here.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah. So what's today's topic, Albert?
All right. Well, so before we get into the topics of tonight, I wanted to call out Josh, talk about a video game that him and I have discussed and debated off the air on our Two Brothers podcast. He seems to think that in the Tekken series, Tekken Tag Tournament is the best. It's superior than 3. And I bring this up because Tekken 3 is out right now on the PS5. It's a high resolution. It's the arcade version. It plays really well, and I've been playing it for the past few weeks. Josh, I'm going to need you to explain yourself because I'm having so much fun with 3 and I can't see how Tekken Tag topples it. What makes you think Tekken Tag Tournament is better?
I wouldn't say it's better. I think I enjoy it more because I think it has more characters in it, and
Yeah.
I'm extremely biased because I'm a huge fan of Jun Kazama.
Okay.
I hope I didn't butcher that name.
No, I think you said it right.
But she was in Tekken 1, I believe, and she was an awful.
Mhm.
She was an extremely forgettable character in that one. And I think they did her justice, and she's just extremely fun to play. Don't get me wrong, Tekken 3 for a PlayStation 1 game was amazing for its time. I had a lot of fun playing Tekken Tag. Alberto?
Just has a better
I
roster.
have a lot of great memories playing Tekken Tag. You know?
I mean, I have also great memories playing with you on Tekken Tag. I think we should do that again. Make that like a little
I think we should too. I had a lot of great memories beating your ass at that game. So.
It's a strange choice of words there, Josh, but we'll just move on from that. I mean, Eric, I know you dabble in
a lot of good victories.
Yeah, eating my ass out. Yeah.
I said beating your ass.
No, I think you said
sorry.
eating. I think you said eating your ass out.
I think you want me.
I think you cut out, and then it said eating. So
I think you want me to eat your ass out. And,
look, you keep saying it, and it just at some point is going to get manifested.
You heard me say it, but
all right,
hey,
I'm not going to be gaslit here on this podcast.
Hey,
Eric,
nobody's gaslighting anybody as you fart in my mouth.
all I heard was fart in your mouth. Eric, what is your favorite Madden game?
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't play Madden. I've never really played
But
Madden.
you're a huge football fan. You don't play Madden. That's
I know.
No. I'll answer this question.
Nope.
This guy is such an Eagles fan that he will not play Madden and be forced to play another team. That is why.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
So unless
No,
it's
can't do
the Philadelphia Eagles video game, you're not playing Madden.
Yep. No Madden. No fantasy football. No betting.
Whoa.
Wow.
Only
You're
the
a
birds,
purist.
dude.
You're a purist.
Right, there you go.
Yep.
Okay. I respect.
I just
Eric.
focus on the Eagles, and that's it.
I mean-
I remember there was this
Go ahead.
one
Josh.
time where this guy came up to Eric and was like, "Just want to let you know, Eric, the Eagles are my second favorite team." And you were like, "That's because you're not a Bronco fan or something."
Yep.
Like, like
There's
how
no such thing.
hardcore Eric is. There's no such thing as a number 2 team, you know.
Nope.
So
Does not exist.
Are
You
you,
can't.
are you okay bringing this up on the podcast? Because we do say "Go Birds." It's our catchphrase for the podcast. Occasionally, you do talk about the Eagles here on the podcast, but for those who may be interested, like myself, what started your love for the team? Why you follow them, Eric?
Yeah, I was very young, like very young age. My dad grew up in the East Coast. Grew up in New York, not Pennsylvania or Philadelphia. But I remember at a very young age, he had this old sweater from his high school, and his high school team was the Eagles. Only it was blue, but they had like this eagle on the front. And I gravitated to that. But then I remember him intentionally exposing me to the Philadelphia Eagles. And he was like, "Hey, this is a team that played kind of near where I grew up. And, I just wanted to kind of show you, like, I just remember this." And then that was just it.
Wow,
That was
where
it.
started.
And that's where it started. And it never ended. It just became an obsession, like a psychotic thing. It's because, like, if you think about it, there's nothing I can do to really impact like what happens in a game on the field, but it's just the passion that I have, and like to Josh's point, like I remember that conversation. I don't remember who that was, but somebody did say that to me, and I remember just being like, "You're not a fan of the Broncos, dude. Like, you can't tell me this. Like, there is no like, there are times I do." If you watch football or any sport, but football in this particular matter, there are times you do need to kind of pull for another team to win a game if it benefits your team. Like, for example, if you're trying to get in the playoffs or trying to get a seeding, you need somebody to lose. And you know what I mean? Like, there's moments of that, but that is only to the benefit of the Eagles. It's got nothing to do with, you know what I mean? So that's the only time, and anybody that is a diehard fan of any team understands what I'm saying. They get that. They're like, yeah, you need that. But the best way to avoid that is just to be fucking good and handle your business and win fucking games. So you're not chasing the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Just got to stay ahead of it. And Josh knows, because he watches a lot of football, like, we are a team right now that just fucking stays ahead of it. That's just a simple fact. So,
okay.
But that's where it started.
It's good to know. I just curious. Because
no, it's good.
Go Birds is
a lot of people ask me
catchphrase at the end of the podcast. So Josh, I would ask your obsession with eating ass, but I think we should just move on and talk about the topics for tonight. So look, here on the podcast, we do this thing where we recommend each other movies to watch, and even though Halloween is over, we're still going to stay on the topic of horror movies because it's something that we're on a streak
right
here.
Yep.
We just love talking about horror movies, so we're going to keep it going. For this episode, for those who want to, like, let's say, put pause, you want to watch these movies or whatever, go watch them because there's going to be spoiler filled. We're going to be spoiling these films, so it's your last chance. Click off, watch these films that we're going to say right now, which is The Void and The Exorcist 3. We're going to be talking about these films. So for those who are interested, you haven't seen it, go check it out. Come back, listen to the podcast after you're done watching. Eric and Josh, you were tasked with watching The Exorcist 3 per Edgar's recommendation. And Edgar and I were tasked with watching The Void, which was recommended by Eric and Josh. I'm interested, though, in hearing what you guys have to think about the Exorcist 3.
I'm sure you are.
We've hyped it a lot. We've talked about this plenty of times on the podcast.
Yes, we have.
So we got to get into it.
Eric, who's going first? Should we go first, or should we let the brothers go first?
You guys go first.
You guys go first. That's what we think.
Yeah.
Josh, do you want to start this?
I have a question for you, gentlemen, before we talk about Exorcist
Please don't let this
3.
be another Saw 6.
You guys think highly of this movie? Where do you guys rank this movie? Real quick.
On our tier list,
Goodness.
Yeah.
yeah, show us your goodness, I think.
Explain
goodness.
to Eric and I why this is Show Us Your Goodness.
Wait, is that what Edgar thinks too?
Yeah.
Edgar, where are you at?
Goodness.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, explain to us why this is goodness.
Okay. Throwing it back to us here for a second. All right. I mean, we've said it on the podcast before. We think that this is an excellent sequel to the first Exorcist movie. It deviates away from pure horror, and it kind of goes into more of thriller, more sort of like mystery, psychological. Does deal with the paranormal, especially during the third act. But I think I enjoy it the most because of how obtuse it is, I think, and how it delivers the scares. There's a lot of weird and also unsettling imagery. Some scenes that stand out is like, now I haven't seen this in a while since we watched it like a year ago, but that scene with like in their church, you can see that shot of that statue, and then it
First scene,
cuts. I don't know if it's the first
No,
scene.
he's talking about
Halfway through, you see that you know what I'm talking about, Josh. There's that statue, and it cuts away and it cuts back, and then it has like this evil
the white
grin
statue.
to it. No.
Yep.
It's holding like a cross. You don't remember it? I might have to pull it up on my.
I do. I know what
You
he's
know what you're
talking
talking about, Eric?
I know what
Scenes
you're
like
talking about.
that, the scene with like the ceiling, you know, that you see like that demon or whatever it was, like just running around the ceiling, which was was an inspiration from Weapons. They took that. Zach Krieger took that scene and did his own little spin on it. Yeah, I mean, excellent performances as well. I just think it was excellently, like, just really well paced. So, I think that's why it's like high good.
Okay.
Edgar.
Josh, do you want to comment on that first, or?
I want to hear from Edgar. Wow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me why this is a Show Us Your Goodness.
I was gonna follow what Albert said. I was gonna say the same thing. It's a great follow up to The Exorcist without even knowing it was a follow up. You know, I expected less about it. You know, when I first saw it, but it actually gripped me in the first 15 minutes of the film. You know, and like I said, the last act it's just amazing for me. His name is. Are you looking at it, Albert? Can you look up
George C. Scott Kinderman, the detective?
Yes, he was good.
What are you talking about?
The guy who played Chucky.
Oh,
Jason
Brad
Miller?
Dourif?
I think Josh said it. What was that, Josh?
he's talking
Brad
about.
Dourif?
Yes.
Okay.
If you see I think he's in the unrated director's cut. He's on there, and he does a great performance of Father. What's his name? From the first Exorcist, who fell off the.
Father Dyer? No. Father Morning? Those are the two fathers you see, dude.
Okay. But yeah, just.
Morning?
Mm-hmm.
The one that goes on the ceiling and gets his skin ripped off?
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, just I had low expectations, and it became one of my favorite horror movies to watch every other Halloween on the list. So I feel like you guys didn't enjoy it by the way you.
Let's hold on. Let's hold on.
Whoa.
Let's hold on. Let's not assume. Let's not assume anything.
Conclusions, you know?
We're not assuming anything. That's why we think it's good.
I'm going to start off and I'm going to say that I appreciated that it was a murder mystery. You know, you had this serial killer called the Gemini, who this this detective who was so gung-ho on finding, right? and then it turns out to be obviously Legion, right? The demon
Yep.
who was using people, possessing people to execute these murders. Is that a fair
That's fair.
way
Yep.
to explain it? Um, I don't understand why you guys think this is a good movie.
Do you not think it's
Well,
good?
You know, unfortunately, I had to watch it twice
Okay.
to kind of understand
Doesn't seem like
why.
it.
And my problem with the movie is just kind of in a nutshell, and I'll kind of hand it off to Eric on his thoughts. Um, I wasn't a fan of the editing. I think the sound mixing was terrible. And I don't know if I was a fan of the pacing.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it to that as of right now, and I guess we'll dive a little bit more into
Yeah.
it. But Eric, what are your thoughts?
there were some things about the ambiance that I enjoyed. With like the smoke, kind of in the beginning, it kind of gave that nostalgic feel. Like the fog machine, like at the beginning with the stairs. I did like some of the, some of the simple effects, like what Alberto was talking about with the statue in the church, where it had the kind of that sinister look. You kind of have to catch it quick. I mean, you notice it, but it's like odd and kind of awkward,
Yeah.
and it does have like a creepy feeling. Um, I don't this. I really didn't like the acting. The acting was the actors were boring. It was just flat, stale. You could say they were B actors, but I think even in today's film, B actors are A+ compared to this. And so there was nothing about the characters that were fun, like nothing sexy about them. They were boring and old. Like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to gravitate towards. Like, there's the protagonist, George C. Scott, who played Kinderman. There's just nothing about him that's appealing that you can get behind. It felt very minimal with the exorcism part, except at the end. But like you said, the pacing was a little weird. They introduced the Father Morning, who does this exorcism, like kind of midway through the movie, and it's kind of random,
Yeah.
and I did like Paul Dorff. Like, he's been in some films where he's played some interesting roles and some interesting characters. His role was okay. It was just okay. But this didn't feel like an Exorcist movie. I would have never thought it was a sequel to a Hall of Fame movie like The Exorcist. This is a Hall of Fame movie we're talking about. And it wasn't scary. The scene in the hospital. Okay.
Before you jump to that scene,
Yeah.
Eric, tell me if you agree or disagree with this, but a lot of the horrifying scenes, the jump scares, and a lot of other things about this movie were just unfortunately silly.
Yeah, they were very silly. That
Like
scene was
the start of the movie. Do you remember? In the church?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Okay, exactly. So the start of the movie.
The doors open, the wind blows, and they wake up Jesus.
Yeah, he blinks. The little Jesus like statue blinks like I just like blinks. It's so it doesn't make any sense. Like it immediately was like a kind of a turn off. Like right away, like what? Why is this little statue blinking? Like the blood coming from the eyes is one thing, but then it blinks. Like it's so like unnecessary. It was just like this unnecessary part to the movie that it's like a little things like that were building up in the movie just didn't land. They didn't stick. There was nothing creepy, nothing scary about it. I did think that the scene near the end where they had the people coming out of the ground like from hell, that was okay. They did that one all right. But these characters were boring, dude. Boring.
Go to the white scene too. Go back to
The
that. I'm
wife,
sorry about that.
the wife scene.
The white scene that you were talking about.
You mean
Oh,
the hospital?
at the hospital when
Yeah, the
the
hospital
nurse,
scene.
the scene that, okay, so you guys had explained there was a scene in the movie,
Mhm.
right, where they're at the hospital with the nurse,
Yeah,
just
the
going back and forth
infamous.
between the room.
Yeah, it's one of the more
That
infamous jump scares in horror.
right, but it almost was just like tacky. Like she's going into these rooms, and all of a sudden, this white robed figure comes out with some, yeah, with this little, and she's carrying the scissors like right behind her. Like it was just,
What did you
I just didn't
find?
like it.
I mean, I can see how you guys could find it tacky. I think for me, watching it, and then just also hearing what other people have said about that scene, has really kind of elevated my feelings on it. So I remember watching this. I hate bringing this up again. So when I bought the DVD copy of Saw 3, for those who don't know, there's a bonus
This is
disc.
why I always bring up Saw 6.
Yeah.
I
but
know.
Keep going.
No, on Saw 3, there's like a bonus disc that has like some of the best horror moments in horror movies history. The Exorcist 3, that nurse jump scare is in that DVD, and that was the first time I was exposed to it, and I was unsettled because it didn't hit me right away. That jump scare, it took a minute to, like, a few seconds to really register, like physically, like the reaction, which I think a lot of people had when they were watching that movie, because, as I said, the movie is very obtuse in how it, like, delivers its scares. The horror is kind of different. It's also very stylistically different from the first one. The first one feels much more like a Hereditary, whereas this feels like a Beau is Afraid, where it's like it's taking a gamble. Now, whereas I didn't really like Beau is Afraid, I think Exorcist 3 just somehow hit all the marks for me. I really enjoyed it.
So Alberto,
Yes.
question real quick.
Yeah.
You said that it didn't really hit you at first until you read about it and heard other people's views about it. Is that correct?
No, to clarify, like in the moment when I saw that scene, right, it, like, the physical reaction of that jump scare didn't register until like a few seconds after, and I think that's what, like, it hit so hard. It felt like a very, like, delayed jump scare. I don't know if you've had those experiences.
That's
Josh.
interesting. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Because usually a jump scare is like an instantaneous
Yeah,
reaction.
this wasn't instant.
Absolutely.
It took a
That's why
minute.
I'm like confused. That's why I'm confused, because I remember you talking about this scene and you were like stating, and I probably misheard from the get-go. I thought you said it was like one of the greatest jump scares of all time.
One of you,
And I was like watching, and I was watching the entire movie, and I'm like, when is this jump scare going to happen?
So I was going to ask you that. Do you think
And
that
I-
ruined it for you, Josh? Anticipating it?
Maybe, I don't know. But I remember I had to Google it, and I was like, greatest jump scare in Exorcist 3,
Yeah.
and it was that scene.
Uh-huh.
And I had to I'm like, what, really?
Yeah.
And I had to like rewind it back to that scene, and it was just extremely, it was just silly to me, unfortunately. And a lot of the jump scares in this movie, like the beginning, the intro with the blinking of the crucifix, Jesus Christ, was silly to me.
Yeah.
Hinderman was extremely silly to me. Like he was like that typical like grumpy old man, like, I said I wanted ice in my water, like always screaming, and I'm just like,
Yeah, his interactions too, like with his family back at their house, were weird. Like they were just like lifeless. Like there was really nothing going on, and maybe like they're trying to speak to his character with like trauma,
Yeah.
perhaps, but it just wasn't like executed very well. And that's kind of what I mean. Like he was just a boring actor. I think the casting played the casting played a big role in where I felt let down in this movie. I think that's where I kept going. The jump scare is kind of whatever. If that's the climax of the movie, okay, fine. Not great. I've seen way better jump scares, but I think the casting just did not land for me. Like I said, Dorif was good. I mean, he was good. He's a good actor. But other than that, like, there was nothing about the casting that got me excited. Although it did have, Patrick Ewing had a cameo, and then Fabio, I think, had a cameo, which was kind of weird. Like Patrick Ewing is in this movie, like briefly. That's just the weirdest thing ever. But yeah,
I did appreciate the interrogation scenes, I guess, if you call them, or the conversations.
Yeah, those were the
he
highlights. Those were definitely like the highlights.
Kinderman had. The scene where the nurse goes to his house and tries to murder his daughter was cringe,
Yeah, it
unfortunately.
was just weird. It just didn't. It was felt kind of rushed or forced. It just didn't feel very authentic, and it was so random. Like there's a nurse going over to her house, and this nurse comes over with this real odd kind of presence and kind of checked out, and then she whips out like these massive shears to try to kill somebody. Like these things are like the size, half the size of her arm. It just was weird. Like
Right.
remember, this is a follow-up to The Exorcist, which was a Hall of Fame movie. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it was just underwhelming. And again, more of the casting and the acting is kind of what got me. And then again, the second Father Morning, who's doing the exorcism, his character's kind of just thrown in like randomly, and then he goes into this like lockdown facility or lockdown hospital. He just walks in, nobody knows he's going there. Like he knows that there's this presence, this demon there. It just lacked, like the storytelling there was no depth to me. It just wasn't there for me. It just wasn't there.
And then it was interesting too, because Father Morning confronts patient X, and everything that he says, that an exorcism is supposed to do has no effect on lesion, right? And then he's thrown up against the ceiling, his skin gets ripped off, and then he dies.
Or supposedly
right?
He died.
Yeah, and then
Supposedly.
and then he's then confronted by Kinderman, and then it's the same effect of Kinderman, and Kinderman does his speech of like, I believe in truth and justice, and then Father Morning is alive, does the same thing, and then it has the effect, and it works.
Yeah, it's just
and then it just cuts to a new scene, and then they're at the cemetery, and then it's over.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of like cutting pieces out of a magazine back when you were like in high school, and like sticking them in a collage on your cork board in your room.
I mean, like I feel like I've said a lot, right, in terms of why I enjoyed it. I'm gonna open it up for Edgar to talk about, because I think Go ahead. I mean, I want. What did you think about The Exorcist 3 when you watched it? Or what do you think of their opinion? What do you think?
I feel like these guys came in expecting like the same type of movie like The Exorcist, that type of scariness. I guess.
True, guys?
As we
disagree.
Okay.
But go ahead.
As we just explained it, like it's different. It's not the same, but it always said it was a follow-up from The Exorcist. Yeah. And to me, it's like I was just looking at it. Yeah, like it didn't do well when it came out. It was universally disliked by everyone, right? But I can say that you can say the same thing as John Carpenter's work at that time too, and look at it now. It's appreciated. Yeah. It's loved by everyone. I feel that's how the Exorcist is going to be. The Exorcist 3,
or is.
At the time, yeah, it wasn't great, but now it's like either one of the best one of the best sequels out there. In my opinion.
And to your point, it is. There's a lot of people that do like it. They do enjoy it. I didn't go into this movie expecting it to be like the original Exorcist movie. I went into this movie expecting a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Josh. I don't think it was the expectation of like you can't have it's hard to have expectations to something like The Exorcist and assume it's going to be just as great or on the same level. I think for me, had the casting been better, that's really what it comes down to. For like when I was watching, I just could not connect to the actors and the way they were like playing their roles.
Which is so weird. Like everyone is praising these actors in their roles. So it's kind of like confusing. Like you guys didn't see that, you know?
Well, these are bad actors too. You know, these are actually good actors. But if I were to define the acting in this movie, I would say that the dialogue was just stiff and unnecessarily witty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then
would you
scenes
say
that
would you say it's
and then
unintentionally
goofy.
witty? Because I mean, I didn't get that from the movie, but because it's weird that you guys say like it's what was the word you say silly, which is such a I would not have thought that would be a word that you'd put with The Exorcist 3 is silly. I mean, maybe there are some people who do think that. I guess it just wasn't the case with me. But do you guys think it was like unintentionally silly?
I would
or-
agree with that. I think it
Yeah?
was unintentionally silly. You know, and yeah, you're not wrong about John Carpenter, right? But the difference is yeah, when they came out, they weren't received well, Edgar, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I watched The Thing for the first time, I thought it was a good movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Prince of Darkness wasn't received well. It was a great movie, you know. I went into this movie, and unfortunately, I left thinking it was not a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well,
I wasn't scared. I wasn't uncomfortable. If anything, it was just there were like a few scenes that I showed my wife too, and she was like, just gave me that what the
Like
hell is this?
like a shrug or what?
Yeah, like I don't get it. You know.
Well, you
You
know,
know,
Well,
and unfortunately, this movie just didn't resonate with me.
I was gonna say
it
that's
didn't.
it's unfortunate, you know, but hey, you can't win them
Real
all.
quick, I don't want to. You don't want to like get too in deep with like ratings. I understand like it can be sometimes Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. I don't always. They're not always like solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were not received well on those platforms either. Tomatoes had it at 58%, and then IMDb was 6.5. So you can't always trust those. I mean, you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like there's been plenty of times I've seen movies where they are very much the opposite of what those ratings say. But look, at the end of the day, it's just The Exorcist 3. Like this isn't a movie that I don't think you guys would have in like your pantheon of horror. What is it? Like if you had a top 10, and you don't have to rip off top 10, but if you think about 10 in your personal pantheon, I guess I would be surprised if this was in
I mean,
it.
no, I don't think it is in my top 10 for sure. And you know, I wonder if we maybe oversold it with those few times that we were on the podcast.
No,
But, I mean,
I don't think it was
yeah.
about overselling it.
No,
I don't think
sometimes
so.
I do worry though that like, oh man, maybe I'm overhyping it for these guys, you know. But
There's been recommendations you've
yeah.
given that have been phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
Dude. Like it just is what it is. Like this isn't. It just is what it is. Like I said, for me, Josh and I see it a little different, maybe, but I just the acting for me was just that's all. Like I just you need to have like some. You need to have like a connection, and for me, I just couldn't connect to it. And I think if it had been a little different, you know, in that regard, it could have because actors are going to help the movie like be better than it is. Like Heath Ledger elevated The Dark Knight, right? Like I don't think it was when we look back at The Dark Knight, you're starting to see the flaws and you're starting to see the aging, but what does hold is Heath Ledger, and he's literally like that performance is carrying that movie essentially. So I think that's just kind of where it is for me. I have no problem with the recommendation. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, none whatsoever.
Where do you guys? So let's hear the ranking. What do you guys think? Where are you ranking it?
You go first, Eric, or do you want to go
Uh,
first?
You can go first.
Show us your basement.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I think when you go into the basement, there's this extra place called the crawl space. It's typically where the mice are. That's where I'm putting it.
Show us your crawl space.
Yeah, down in the basement. Open up the door.
Uh-huh.
You see where the mice live.
Yeah.
You just gotta put it. Sometimes you just gotta put it to rest. That's it. That's all.
All right.
I'm gonna stick with our formula. I'm gonna say show us your
Yeah.
basement.
Yeah, just say basement. I'll just say basement. I don't mean to get off.
We should call the podcast "Show Us Your Crawl Space" now. I think that's what.
No.
There are just other Exorcist movies that I would just pick before this. You know,
What the
and,
fuck? Like what? Believer?
There's not that many good Exorcist
There's
movies.
not that many good, right? Obviously, the
So you're
OG
saying you're putting two
Exorcist
over
movies.
3?
I'm not. I'm saying exorcism movies in general.
Oh, exorcism movies. I thought you said
Yeah.
exorcist movies. Okay,
There's not
sorry.
that many good exorcism movies. Like, it's a tall
Like-
task, dude, when you have The Exorcist, the original. It is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's almost unfair.
Well, Exorcist isn't not just the greatest exorcism movie of all time. It's one of the greatest films of all time.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and it's still hard to follow something like that.
Yeah.
I think one of the Conjuring movies. I want to say it's either was it the first
It's
one
the
or
second
the second
one.
one?
It's the
Yeah.
second one.
You know, I appreciated that one. Underappreciated. I love it. Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Are you,
I'm a huge fan of that one.
You're shaking your head over there. What's wrong? You don't like their ranking? What's going on?
It's just weird.
Is it weird, or what do you really want to say? Go
No,
ahead.
it's like, yeah, I know.
I know. We knew.
I know The
I
Exorcist.
figured we were gonna get judgment for this. I figured you guys.
No,
were gonna
you guys are cool
judge
with
us
your.
hard for this,
For me,
but,
I'm fine.
you know.
I'm not like
But go ahead, Edgar.
Hey,
No, I just I knew we didn't say it was going to be better than The Exorcist. It's just a great follow up to The Exorcist, the continuation of the story.
You told
that's
me it was
fair.
a good movie,
Yeah, I did
Right.
say that. Mhm.
and I left not watching a good movie.
Okay.
That's how I feel. Right? I didn't think it was going to be better. I thought it was going to be a good movie, and unfortunately, Edgar, this was not a good movie, man.
Okay.
no, listen, Edgar, I got to tell you, okay, the hardest one. Don't take that too much, because Josh was telling me for years how my quarterback sucked, and then that all changed. So if you want to hear some heated debates, there was a fly on the wall. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
before that, we also talked about how you guys couldn't win championship. So
Yeah, well,
things changed.
and then all of a sudden
Whoa.
that changed.
Hey,
So.
this isn't nightcap, guys. Okay, so no, I mean, look, it's unfortunate. You know, I was really hoping you guys would come in here with a different opinion, but you know, it just is what it is.
I hope that's not always the case, gentlemen. Just because, like that's what's so fun about talking about these movies.
Yeah.
Because it is a matter of opinion.
No, it is. Yeah, no, I mean,
You know,
it's,
there's a
This is
lot
the
of
first
things.
movie I've rated Basement on a recommendation. I don't think I've had
it's
a
the
single
first
one.
movie.
Well, there was
you
that.
rated
There-
Crawl
The
Space.
first one.
There was that
Well,
Shawn
yeah.
Michaels and Undertaker.
Oh,
but we
yeah.
ain't got to
Yeah,
talk
you
about
also
that.
put them.
Oh.
Anyways,
also,
you know, but don't
Okay,
let me
you're
bring
right.
up.
you're
old
allowed to be
movies.
wrong, Eric. Okay, you're allowed to be wrong.
I know.
But
I know.
that's what's so fun about this, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Is there are things that I enjoy that you disagree, and vice versa, right? And there's a lot of things that we all enjoy at the same time as well, right?
Yeah.
That's the great thing about cinema, right? That you know, it's just unfortunately there. Eric and I don't think this is a good movie, and there's probably 50 people that are listening out there that disagree with us, right?
And that's fine.
And that's fine,
Yeah, that's
right?
okay.
Or there
I mean,
may be
yeah.
10 other people that agree with us, right?
It doesn't take away, you know, my enjoyment of the movie. Or
Yeah,
others.
we're not trying to
Yeah, it
convince you.
shouldn't. It
No,
should
not at all, dude.
Absolutely.
Look, if we're keeping it a buck, I think you guys are completely fucking wrong with the jump scare thing, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you guys are just a bunch of sissies, but keep going.
I don't know about that. Listen, like I said, I think The Exorcist 3 is still an excellent film, and I enjoyed it. And its influence, I think, is still being seen in other horror films. And yeah, I mean, you guys are in the minority, and that's totally okay. That's totally fine.
I would also argue, and I would say that people watched it and they were like, I can make this scene better.
Like yourself, Josh, or what?
Like, I'm gonna take that scene and I'm just gonna make it better.
How would you?
But anyways,
let's. Now I'm curious. How would you have made it better?
I'm not a film guy. I think I hurt this guy a little bit.
Who?
So no, you said like weapons, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
No, this movie. A lot of people like reading up about this. There is a very strong fan base. There are a lot of people that appreciate this movie, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
okay
of course.
at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Show us your crawl space and show us your basement.
Mm-hmm.
Is the
I'm sticking to the formula. Just show us your basement.
Show us your
just,
basement.
Just
I like crawl space though. I like that. I think we'll use that every now and again. That's fine. All right. Well, moving on from The Exorcist 3, you guys recommended us to watch The Void. It came out in 2016. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw you the same question to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What was the reasoning behind recommending this movie to us?
I think when we were discussing this, number one, we were really trying to think of a movie that you guys hadn't seen. So we weren't really sure, because we know you guys have seen a lot of movies, but that one's never come up. So we thought we're gonna swing on this one. And I think Josh may have a different opinion, but I think for me, I thought to myself, like, okay, this is a movie where this is gonna go one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were. It's a movie that Josh and I really liked because of its nostalgic feeling, and it's callback to practical effects and the love that it kind of shows for some of the older films that we enjoyed a lot, like The Thing and Prince of Darkness, and really respecting a movie trying to not use like heavily CGI effects in the movie. So, but we also kind of were thinking like, okay, this is a movie where we're not really sure what they're going to think. We don't know, one, if they've seen it, and two, if they haven't, we don't really know. So we really didn't have any thought to a prediction. I think my thought was, okay, I think these guys are really going to think it's great, or they're going to think it's really bad. It's going to be kind of one or the other. Josh, I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. I agree with everything that you said. The biggest thing for me on why I wanted to recommend this is this is a 2016 movie. This is a movie that you and I talked about back in our early years. Sears. Like, I think we had both just randomly talked about it. You were like, "Oh yeah, I did see it," and then and then we had a long conversation about it. Talking about our love for horror, but the main thing and the reason why I wanted to recommend this to you guys is I genuinely think, and I may be wrong on this, but I think this was the first movie to go back to practical effects, where a lot of fans of horror was like, okay, we got to get away and we got to walk away from the CGIs, the CGI movies, and we got to do what made The Thing work and things like that, right? And this is heavily, I think it's all practical effects, if my memory serves me right. I think
so, for the most part. And it's, to your point about it being in 2016, during that era, which was Alberto's favorite era, this was actually like a movie where it was very different than what was being when you look at a lot of the horror movies in that era. Like this one was actually quite a bit different than the normal routine, because it was like kind of a mixture of like cosmic and occult, so, which is kind of weird. You don't usually see that kind of mixture. So I mean, I guess Event Horizon is like that, but that was a long time ago.
And to Eric said it perfectly too. This is a movie that can go both ways.
Yeah.
It was straight to video.
Yeah.
It did not have a
Yep.
theatrical
Limited theatrical
release.
release.
Yeah. Oh, was it limited?
Yeah.
It was something that, like, I think streaming. Did we stream this like
I
randomly?
can't remember, dude. I don't even remember. I don't even
It was
remember.
just one of those horror movies that you can just randomly find on a shelf and
Yeah,
just watch
much.
it, or just find it like on Netflix. And yeah, I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts, because you can either say this was great or you can say that it was basement. I don't know. I guess, before we hear
Sure.
Alberto and Edgar, what would you rank this movie, Eric?
I would put this movie as good.
Josh?
I would say, for me, and I remember talking to you about this, Eric. I was not a fan of the ending.
Right. We both know why.
Yeah, and I ranked this mid, actually.
Okay. Yeah. We can get into the ending later, but I want to hear what they have to say about it.
Oh, I mean, I'll open it up for Edgar. Go ahead, man.
From the words of John Carpenter,
Horror lives on.
no,
That's not the one.
zero, nothing I enjoyed about this film. Just take the words that you
What?
guys said about The Exorcist and put it to my fucking review for this movie. I came in
Well,
open-minded because I looked it up, and it's a Lovecraftian film, and I love those type of movies, because it just dwells into the madness of the cult and these outer beings and stuff. And I would say there's better movies that do it better with the cult and like the
With H.P. Lovecraft.
Well, like you said, we'll get there. But the thing that killed it for me was the ending. Eric, man, I thought you were gonna pick something good, man. I thought you were gonna at least pick the Mouth of Madness from John Carpenter or something. But no, we had to pick a direct-to-video movie here, and it's the same director who did Psycho Gorman,
Limited
which makes
release.
sense. Which make
Guys.
fucking sense.
What was that? What were you saying, Josh?
He said limited release.
Limited
Or run.
theatrical release.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So did his latest one too, Psycho Gorman. And
Yeah, so I mean, look, dude. I think you guys said what we thought without us even saying it, which is the best part is the practical effects. I heard nothing about the story when you guys were saying what you enjoyed about it, which makes sense because it's a thin plot.
it is.
There's really not much going for it. The setup is very interesting, but it feels like the writers just didn't know what to do with the premise, which is okay. I mean, H.P. Lovecraft stories can often be like that too, where they just are kind of one-offs and they just don't really go anywhere. This one just didn't feel very impactful. I think the only strong highlight was the practical effects, and it makes sense that it stood out for you guys as it did for me. I think that was really the only thing that I really enjoyed about it. Eric was saying that there just wasn't a lot of movies during this era that did that Lovecraftian thing during the 2010s, and I would say actually there was one, and it was Color Out of Space. I don't know if you guys seen it. Nicolas Cage.
Oh yes, very good. Very good.
Excellent fucking film. Also,
Yes,
in the same
agree.
vein as H.P. Lovecraft.
Yep.
So just watching this, I just couldn't help but think I could be watching The Thing right now, right? The Thing just feels like such a superior film, even though it came out in the 80s. What, right? 80s, I believe? Or
Yeah.
when did it come out, Josh?
1982.
Yeah, there you go.
1982?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I didn't get that, but
1982. Yeah.
so I don't know, man. There was a scene that I did enjoy, which was when I think it was one of the nurses was like killing one of the patients.
Oh yes.
Hospital beds.
Mhm.
It instantly made me think of Dead Space. I actually really appreciated that scene. I enjoyed that.
It gave me Resident Evil vibes
It did.
when the original Resident Evil, when they introduced the zombie, that type of yeah.
I liked the reveal. That was kind of cool, but it was like, oh shit, we're in it now. We're starting off. Like, here we go. And it just didn't. It just didn't know where to go after that. You know, this feels like a script that wasn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong, but it just didn't feel like it was like they were just writing it as they went. That's just kind of the feeling I got from it. So, you know, Josh, you said it's mid, and I tend to agree with that. I think it's probably more than mid for me. I think it's like less. I probably would put it in basement. Honestly, the only thing that was enjoyable was the practical effects. You know, which I thought was impressive. I think they had a budget of what, like 80 something thousand. That, and I think it was all crowdfunded. Indiegogo, I think it was like all funded through that, so it was kind of cool.
I think that contributes to the lack of a story.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and like bash the story too much. I feel like they had it as a sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. They just had a plot that they wanted to just use these cool practical effects and these creatures with, and just cool. But unfortunately, I just don't think the story really held any weight. I didn't find it all enjoyable or memorable, to be honest. Josh, what was it that you didn't like about the ending? Maybe we both agree on that. But what about it you enjoyed?
It's been such a long time since I've seen this movie. I just remember it felt like it left you wanting more, and not in a way that was like, oh, it was so good, I want more, like a sequel or something like that, but in a way where it was just delivered, where like it was like, this is it.
Yeah, it was very it was like they were
rushed.
They took a page. They were trying to take a page out of Prince of Darkness, and then they tried to expand it further by like showing what it was like on the other side, and it didn't make a lot of sense. You're like, wait, so now they're on this other side. There's these pyramids, and I don't get what that is. But like the story, like if I can remember correctly, there was the scientist or the doctor. He was like trying to basically open a portal to another universe, and it was kind of
correct. Yeah,
hard to like put together why. He was kind of making it sound like it was this. I don't know.
From what I gathered, I think he was like trying to find or he says that he found a way to kind of like cheat death or something like that. I think.
Right. That's something like that.
Something like
cheating
that.
death, or you can live. Yeah, again, it was.
Yeah, it just felt. It felt. You want to talk about like? I know you guys were saying like it was very silly in the Exorcist 3. I just found him as a villain or antagonist so hokey and like, I don't know. I was like, oh, I've seen this type of archetype of a villain before, and it just didn't like. I've heard that kind of speech before. I know there was like a speech he was giving that lady when she was like on that gurney and shit. I don't know, man. I mean, look, I want to like pick your brain a little bit for both of you guys. But Josh, so it's mid for you, which means there was some things you enjoyed. Obviously, besides the practical effects, was there anything that you enjoyed about the film that kept it from basement?
There's a couple things that I appreciated. I mean, if you actually read about this movie and watching it, it does pull a lot of elements and respect and love to John Carpenter and what he had done. So to Eric's point, so darkness elements, the thing elements, right, with the creatures and the practical effects. Yeah. I did appreciate actually start of the movie, ending up in a hospital, getting trapped, and then you're you're getting chased and you don't know what to expect. and I apologize. I'm working off of, I haven't seen this movie since like probably 2016.
when it came out.
Yeah, so I'm just basing it like off of how I felt. But then once it gets to the deep end of the hospital, I want to say, right? But was that part of the hospital when they're like with the bodies and the Colts and things
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah.
in the morgue or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Like the movie lost me,
Oh,
Yeah,
right?
it has an okay build up in the beginning. Like there's a little bit of mystery, kind of like creepiness to it, and then then it relies heavily on like the practical effects. Like it leans into that. Like the villain character. He wasn't terrible looking. Like they had some potential. There was some potential there, but it just leaned too far into that. And then, to your point, it gets a little bit lost, and
It became a different
know,
movie as
yeah, it
well.
kind of became a
it did,
different
yeah.
kind of thing.
You know,
But the
um,
callbacks were good. Like like there was John Carpenter in this everywhere. And so, but yeah, the ending with like, yeah, I mean, it was not like original, and then like you said, leaving more on the table. Like it was just, yeah, you show the other side, and that's sometimes the best part is not showing the other side, and that's where like movies like Prince of Darkness and Event Horizon really win, because you don't know. You really are left wondering like, oh, what just happened, and you want to see it. And then it's funny that they make a movie where they show it to you, and you're like, oh, this is fucking terrible. Isn't it just weird how that works? So it's like the left for interpretation sometimes is the best way to do things, and so that's where I think Event Horizon and Prince of Darkness win, like by a mile.
Yeah. No, it's like I said. I mean, I appreciate the homages to John Carpenter and the thing, but ultimately, I just don't think it did enough for me to feel like it could be a worthy sort of, I guess, like successor to those films. I mean, it's really hard to kind of even think that they could even be on the same level as The Thing, anyways. But
Oh no. But I mean, that's what we were saying about The Exorcist.
yeah.
you guys have to keep in mind too, when this movie came out, this movie was extremely hyped.
Yeah, I remember there was some hype around it.
It was actually advertised really well.
Yeah.
It did get decent reviews on
Yeah, it did. It did. That's what's interesting.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Now, 78% Rotten Tomatoes, but 5.9 on IMDb. So it's all over the place. Like,
It is.
No, absolutely.
I mean, unfortunately for me, like hearing about the hype, and I know this is, you guys are going to agree anyways, it doesn't do anything to kind of sway me one way or the other. Hearing that it was hyped. I mean, a lot of horror movies were hyped, and it's like, whatever. I just look at this, and honestly, when I was watching it, I was starting to look up the Wikipedia and stuff, and then I saw that it was the same director of Psycho Gorman. And I was like, oh, this is probably why this movie's not landing with me, because I also just didn't like Psycho Gorman when that came out.
Psycho Gorman was dumb as shit.
Yeah. So, so the writer and directors are known for making like those types of like horror comedies, and this was their first foray into doing something more serious. And I appreciate them trying to step out and do something different, but ultimately, I just think it was not successful.
Psycho Gorman came out more recent.
It came out 2020. So I watched that movie first, and then I watched this one not knowing it was from the same director. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that explains a lot.
That'll just ruin it for you right there.
I just feel like, honestly, I would rather watch 2011's The Thing over this one. I think I enjoy that one, which, ironically enough, is more CGI than practical effects.
Well, that was a better movie. For sure.
I think it's just a better paced movie
sure.
too. Better paced movie, and had a bigger budget, obviously. So, I can see why you guys recommended this to us. With our love for H.P. Lovecraft and cosmic horror, we really enjoy that. But ultimately, I think it was not great. I think it's basement for me. I think that's where I'm going to rank it.
Same with me. It just like what the guys were saying. They're like, none of the characters landed for me. they didn't know what they were doing with the story. It felt like the
Yeah.
ending just ended up and just ended. There was no like. But like you said, there's movies that do it, but there's those other movies that do it better. That ends abruptly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This one, they just they try to do a lot of things. It felt like, and that's why I kind of like it didn't like you said, didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
And it, like the guy said so to like it changes into another movie.
It does. I agree with Josh on that one. I think they had a good build up. That first like 15, 20 minutes, I was like, all right, you got me hooked.
Mm-hmm.
And then things started going off the rails. And normally you're still on it. You're still kind of like locked in. But in this case, I was just like, oh, okay, it's losing me as it keeps going, which is unfortunate.
Is it fair to say this movie had an identity issue? It tried to do too much.
Maybe that could be it for me. Ultimately, I just feel like, and I don't want this to be a knock on the writers or directors, but because again, this may not have been in their intention, but it just felt like a screenplay that was written as they just like kept writing it. There was no like thought process laid out before they wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, case in point, when that lady's about to give the C-section to that one pregnant girl, and then all of a sudden she turns out to be like the one who's carrying the child of the doctor, and she like kills that old guy, and I'm like, what the well, that came
That was
kind of out
awful.
of left field, and I'm like, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
I know
no
what you're
build
talking
up,
about.
there was
I
nothing.
just remembered that. Yeah,
It was
You get
just,
that feeling inside you where you're like, it's like that sinking feeling of like, okay, now I'm being let down.
yeah.
So
I think that's when it went south. Is it fair to say that?
that's
It did.
probably
My
the
memory
scene.
serves me right. That was probably the scene where it was just like, okay, this is
Because
It was
honestly,
confusing.
honestly, like I was still kind of even locked in after shit started to lose me. I was like, all right, this could still be salvageable, but at that point, I was just like, okay, it's not going anywhere good, you know, unfortunately. So while I enjoyed the practical effects, there's that scene where they're in the morgue and you see all the bodies, and I was like, oh, this is actually really well done, really well made. The practical effects are fantastic, so I applaud them for that, especially on that budget. But yeah, man, I don't know. This is a basement for me. I think that's the first time I've given a basement, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be. So
out fucking time.
yeah, about fucking time, right? We're giving our first basement movie, and it's The Void.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you guys are right when you said it could go one way or the other. Sucks.
Well, we also gotta find something you haven't seen.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I mean, that's the challenge here. You guys
Yeah.
have seen like fucking everything.
You know, and it's so interesting too because you know, you guys never heard of this movie. Is it fair to say that?
We have not. No.
You know,
So good pick
this
on
is so this is a forgotten movie, and I'll be honest with you, like I forgot about this movie as well, and it was like talking with Eric, and we were like, oh shit, what about The Void? You know, so I think you forgot about it as well.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I had to kind of think
Sure.
about it, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. I guess we won the basement off.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
I'm just saying, like the yeah, we win the basement off because it was your first basement.
Oh, yeah. No,
And this is our first basement for all four.
all four of us have basement movies. Well, it's unfortunate you guys didn't enjoy Exorcist 3, but that's okay.
It's unfortunate you didn't like the Void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys probably expected that, right? I mean, let's be honest.
Yes, but
We're
I don't
open
know.
to whatever choice you
Yeah.
guys make.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
we had
it's
yeah.
not that it's unfortunate or fortunate.
Yeah.
We're okay with that.
Yeah.
We're actually okay with that, gentlemen.
The
but
show
the thing
is called "Show Us Your Basement."
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And those of you that are
Getting
listening, don't watch these movies. We don't recommend them. They're obviously Show Us Your Basement. I'm just kidding. Watch them and please argue with us and tell
Yes.
us if we're wrong. So.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree with that one. You have any other parting words, Edgar, before we
I was just-
start to head off here?
I was really looking forward for Eric's pick.
Well, to be fair, Edgar, you did recommend him Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Okay?
Yeah.
He had to pay money for that. So
I had to pay money.
I'm sorry.
I had to pay money.
At least
But he had to
that
give you
movie
one.
had a plot.
Did it, though?
Yeah, it did.
Did it?
He became president at the end.
That's just historical fact. That's just a historical fact.
Yeah.
Based on a true story.
Yeah, based on
Inspired by true events, man.
I mean, I think now when we do recommendations, I'm gonna keep digging deep.
All right.
I'm gonna dig deep. I have to because I don't know what you guys have. You guys have seen everything.
That's
so
fine.
I gotta dig deep. So technically, this was a win because you guys hadn't seen it, and maybe there's a reason
They
for that.
never even heard of it either.
Never even heard of it. But I'm actually glad to hear that they think Psycho Gorman was bad because that was fucking bad.
Yeah, it was. That was.
Holy shit, that was bad. And I didn't actually know that was the same. But yeah, that was not good. Like that, I don't even think I finished that movie. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? This is fucking crazy because it looked cool. Like
talk about
it
a
had
movie
this
that
look.
has practical effects. That one had a whole bunch.
I had a whole bunch.
Yeah, it did. I mean,
it still
they
didn't.
definitely-
Still couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and that's a shame too because they seem to know that part. So it's like, why don't we just like hire this guy just to do the practical designs and just let him do that, and then let somebody else write the fucking story or what? You know what I mean? Like, clearly he's talented like that. Like, what's his name? Who's the guy that's Tom Savini or whatever? Like,
Oh yeah.
like he just knows how to do shit. You know what I mean? Like he was specifically hired to do like the effects, right? And so and there's a reason why everything he did, most of what he did was so great because that's just what he focused on. He was just good at that. So
well,
anyway,
that's gonna do it for another episode of Show Us Your Basement. We want you guys to go, like I said, go watch these films.
Let us know if
give them the time of day, please. Don't go out and like pay money for these if you can find a way to. I'm just kidding. No, just watch it by any means. Support these people. Support the filmmakers. Again, follow us on our socials. That is at Show Us Your Basement on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and we really appreciate you guys. Keep eating ass and go Birds.
go Birds, baby.